popped into my head today. My most vivid one was when I was about 4 years old, and I was sent to the country after the Germans dropped a bomb on nearby Sandycove. I lived in Monkstown at the time, and I was sent to in-law relations near Aughrim up in Macredon. So you can imagine what it was like. You know, somebody coming from a leafy suburb and suddenly surrounded by fields and Maureen instead of the trams used to rumble down Monkstown Road, and so there was that of peace and quiet. But what I remember most vividly about this farmhouse, there were two farmyards. The one nearest the road was where the hens were, and they absolutely fascinated me, every aspect of them. And from the point of view that I used to watch Mrs. Strachan, who owned the farm, and making butter and churning the butter actually, and oh my God, the taste of it! I still remember it, and I would love to sort of buy butter like it again. And then also, for breakfast we'd have boiled egg, and the eggs there again were most unusual, because it must be the food that she gave them, because the whites were sort of rather milky. And then of course there was the bread, white bread in this case, but brown bread was the usual thing during the war, in the emergency of the war, what it was called. Anyway, I mean, the English used to sort of tease us and sneer at us, saying that they had white bread, and we would shoot back and say, oh, but we had butter on our brown bread, not margarine. But it was just a lovely memory, and you can just imagine, like a 4-year-old, I think I was then, a child, and this new experience. There was another later, a couple of years later, about 1947, when my uncle married a daughter of the house, and God, how tough we are in those days, because it was winter and there was snow on the ground, and yes, we all had to sit out on chairs, without overcoats for photographs. And then there was a little incident which I remember. My grandmother was a very strict lady altogether, and so was Mrs. Strachan, and I don't know where the hell, I must have been in the hall, and I heard my grandmother saying to Mrs. Strachan that of course none of her boys drank, and at that moment my uncle was coming down the stairs with his suitcase, and he tripped and fell, and there was a cascade of bottles coming down the stairs. Yeah, memories are nice. Well, especially the happy ones. Okay, bye bye.